We're back, gamers. Chokehold Chatter. I
Guess
think it's
who's
like episode
back,
11 now
back,
at this
back,
point.
back. Guess
11 or
who's
12 at
back?
this point.
We're
So
somewhere.
I think the big one was we'll find out whatever number this is. But I know the big one was the Netflix for the first time for Raw.
Yep.
And what they revealed during it is a big talking point. If you haven't seen the title of this, it's 2K25. It's right around the corner. We're going to get a big reveal. We did get some screenshots. It looks like the cover might have been leaked. But we're going to talk about the game, some things
At least
enjoyed
the
from the previous game, and
at
run the
least
new
the
one.
basic cover got leaked, is what I'm feeling.
Well, I don't know. So there's like 3 different covers
Oh,
for 2K24.
yeah. There's
And
3 or 4. I think there's 4.
I don't know if they'll do cover star or cover stars. And I don't know if they'll put one of the women in it. I don't know if it'll just be strictly Roman, or if they'll do like a whole all the bloodline edition. Like, I don't necessarily know what route they'll go there.
I'm
I
curious
guess
to
it really doesn't
see.
matter that much if someone doesn't even have a physical edition anymore. But
I mean,
you
there's still
know,
some guys out there buying physical disc copies, especially for those that
well,
don't
like
have
console,
like
yeah.
the deluxe only consoles or anything like that. So
That's another thing to mention. So this game will still. It is not going to be the last. Well, last year isn't the last. Hopefully, this year's the last. I hope 2K26 isn't on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One generation. It should have been. This should have been the first one. If you think about it, 2K15 was a big step up.
yeah,
2K25 should have been a big step up. I don't really give a shit about graphics. I want all the performance of the console. I mean, given in all fairness, if you look at the amazing stuff that came out on the PS4 and Xbox One, I think there's no excuse for a lot of the stuff that's not in the game that they're handicapping themselves on. We'll get to it. But from a point of like, oh, it's a generational leap in technology and they're going to open up more to what they can do. I don't know. The PS4 and Xbox One must be making them a lot of money for them to be like, yeah, we're gonna keep putting it out on another console. What worries me too is that the Switch 2 might be around the corner, and we're around the corner from probably another generation cycle of consoles. So it's like what 2K26 will come out, and it
uh,
like we won't even see the full, uh, power of like a PS6 or whatever.
I'm
You
not
know,
sure if we're right around the corner from the next generation, but I think we're around the corner from the next generation's generation. Like, because
depending on how
they
it's
just
stacking up.
dropped the PS5 Pro, and so I think they'll wait like probably a year after GTA 6 before they go.
Yeah, that everything revolves around GTA 6, I feel like. Um,
It's one of the highest grossing video games in the world, unfortunately. Which I really thought
so
by now Fortnite would play with it, but
now Fortnite's got to beat.
you think?
Yeah, Fortnite makes way too much money. So the PS5 was released on November 12th, 2020.
Ooh,
Um,
okay. Maybe we are right around the corner then.
I don't know actually. To your comment, I feel like what was like Xbox One and PS4? That was like what
Uh,
2013, 14, 15?
yeah,
Around
yeah.
that era, I
Because
feel like.
I remember when it dropped because GTA 5 was the day one.
GTA 5 was on 360 first and then
No,
went
no,
to
no. What I'm
Xbox.
saying is that when the PS5 or the PS4 dropped, uh,
That was a big
the
deal because they had like first person mode for GTA.
and like
So
so that day that it dropped, I think GTA 5 dropped on the PS4 along with Dragon Ball Xenoverse and Dying Light. I want to say dropped all in the same time.
I don't remember too much on PS4
Yeah, because I remember
because
I
I got
pre-ordered
later.
that game. Uh,
At that point, I had an Xbox One, so I got like Rise Son of Rome, Dead Rising 3, Forza, I think Gears of
so
War.
just to before we get to the 2K conversation of what this podcast is based on,
Mhm.
the number 2 best game in the world, selling wise, is Grand Theft Auto 5. First place is
Number one's
Minecraft.
Minecraft. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes
So,
sense. Okay.
not gonna
Well,
say it's the
Fortnite's
most
free.
popular game in the world, but it's
Yeah, well, Fortnite you don't have to buy. You just get a console. Really, not even that.
yeah, I
You
guess.
know,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
nonetheless, the 2K25. Let's talk about the game modes in particular. I feel like, and then just overall. So, like,
So, as a guy
yeah,
that has played every single wrestling game that has ever came out since
mhm.
I've been alive, starting with the Dreamcast to now, and I have spent, with the exception of 2K20, I want to say that was the shit one, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Every WWE game that has came out, I have dropped at least 100 hours in. Um.
Battlegrounds,
Oh, okay, that's a lie. I never owned Battleground. I did play
All
All
Stars.
Stars. I played All Stars. Yeah, I played. I
I
actually liked that
actually,
game.
I didn't play much All Stars growing up, but I did play Battlegrounds. I hated 2K20. I couldn't even get it to run. So I was like, screw that. Like,
When 2K20 dropped and it killed my entire CoF franchise that was actually really hot at the time,
Mhm.
I was very upset because I lost like everything. I lost like a whole viewer base. Like I was averaging like 20 viewers per show, and then 2K20 dropped. I made a big deal about it because I was like, first show 2K20, and like I had to cut it into 15 parts because the game would play for 7 minutes and then crash.
and that's
So
on console. That's the disgusting part too. PC it just didn't work. But on consoles, I had issues too, and so luckily those days have passed. But I still think development wise, they're holding themselves back in a lot of ways. So I mean, let's just start here. First off, the Devil game mode that was added a couple years back, my faction. Given it has gotten better now, the Persona cards you can actually use them in Exhibition, Universe, and MyGM now. They give you some free. They give you some that it's just gambling at this point. I hate the game mode for one single fact, and it's the bullshit. There's a new game every single year. I would not. If there was a game and they just called it WWE 2K and they just like this is what AW Fight Forever should have been is you just had that game and you just continuously update it. And if someone leaves, who gives a shit? Because you're still adding onto the roster, adding more people, adding new costumes. I
it's
think people would
essentially
dump more money
it's
into
essentially an
that.
upgraded super card.
Yeah,
Is really all my faction is.
I feel like people would dump more money into like if it was just one game and it just, you know, evolved over time, like Fortnite has. Look at all their money. But because they put out a game every single year, that ain't happening. And my faction's probably making the money off of like the lowest common denominator human beings throwing money at that shit, which is disgusting because like I said, if the game if you buying that stuff right now like mattered in the next game and the next game and the next game, cool. That's awesome. But it's the fact of they didn't even wait a whole year to shut down the service for everything for 2K23.
Yeah.
How fast are they gonna do it for 2K24? That's disgusting. Fuck that. That's absolutely awful of a
So
company to do that. So
so I'm gonna hit you with something because as a guy that gets a lot of use out of 2K, regardless of it's not just a game for me. I do the colleague, I do other things with 2K. I do a lot of things with 2K. I get a lot of use out of the game. It creates a lot of content for me. I have a lot of faith with my content in 2K25, hopefully. But a big thing that killed my content over the years is if you go watch like the SmackDown versus Raw content, you know, this is where I'll go like in depth on the side that a part of my wish list here is the fact that the creator wrestler thing is big for me. Okay, like all the
never got there
creation
yet.
tools,
But yeah.
all the creation tools and everything like that. But like one thing that killed it was exactly how much customization I can actually do. So like
Mhm.
2K's biggest competitor is Madden when you look at it, because Madden comes out every year and 2K comes out every year, but they're essentially the same game, different sport. All right. In Madden back in the day, you probably don't know this, Dom, because you're not a big Madden guy.
I don't
But
know. I don't see it at all. As like the wrestling guy, like I don't.
well, here, hold on. I'm gonna break it down for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So Madden used to have a creation suite to where you could create your own team, your own players for that team, your
Mhm.
own stadium, your own field,
So everything that a
everything.
football game should have in the
Yeah.
year
Well, hold on, hold on,
2025.
hold on, hold on.
Yeah.
Over the years, they gradually started taking that away.
Oh yes,
Now
we love
they've
those.
brought it back in a way that still makes you play a certain game mode,
Yeah.
and you don't really get free creation over everything, but they're hitting that it's coming back. I want WWE to see that and be like, that's a fucking problem. We need to give these guys more creation ability. Because, like, for instance, in 2K, when I create a arena, I want full customization. Okay? I want to create the feng shui. I want to create how the arena is set up, from the barricades to the seats to the where the cameras are at, where the stage is coming from, to where it's at, where it's going, where the ring is placed. I don't want it perfectly square sometimes. What about a cockeyed ring? All right, it looks good on camera.
Mhm.
How about instead of 4 sides, you give me the opportunity to go 6 or 8?
Okay, we're
Because
not even talking about the same game at this point. Like, hold on, you're not. We're not even. We're going. You're crazy. You're crazy, man. I
I'm just
love you,
saying
man. You're
it's
fucking crazy right
it's
now. This is
possible.
WWE. We're not talking like Universal UPW, where that game is. That's what's come out, or Wrestling Code, or all those. Like this is WWE. We have to remember in the realm of WWE, and they love the money, and the game's coming out every year.
Think about how much more money they'd make. They would pull so much more because of indie content creators, big time content creators. Now, granted, the big time content creators aren't going anywhere because it's a licensed game that
They pay
triggers
them.
a lot of
They pay
viewers
them.
regardless.
They're
Yeah, and they pay them. You're right. You're right. Watch the guy that does the
they
WWE Twitch live streams. He annoys me.
dude, they literally pay them. They fly them out there for the
Hmm.
events. They get the exclusive footage before the game comes out. They get the copy of the game, multiple. I'm pretty sure. Whatever console, whatever you're on, that's at the other. I think the only thing they probably don't get is like PC. But it's like I
And
don't
it's
think it's
funny
gonna
because
make. I don't think it's gonna make a dent. Honestly,
the
I
game
feel
is
like
beta tested on PC.
I don't think them doing anything like drastic like that would shift how many copies
Well,
they
that was just
sell.
like a little for instance. Like I have a lot more like when it
Okay.
comes to the customization. Like I have an in-depth
We
list.
dived off of the deep end on my faction, but let's go now kind of steer back to the creation suite and all that. My thing, no matter what happens, at the end of the day, 2K25, even if you don't add a single, if you don't add a single new attire, outfit, whatever, you need more than 100 slots. Like they did good this year by
That's
giving
one of my
you
points. Yeah,
like a referee outfit or something, I think. But you need 2K14.
wasn't on that
2K14
200.
had 4 outfits. I think it only had 100 call slots. The game's still been limited to 100 call slots. It makes no sense.
Well, back in the day, it was 20. So
I guess
they've gave
also
us more.
I guess also it doesn't matter if the call slots are broken, because they'd rather fix stuff where you can get like different types of hair by putting like hats on it and make it invisible or whatever, like little hair glitches. They'd rather waste everyone's time and break calls doing that, and that's stupid.
Or
And
they
then
make
there's
the
already
action figure, playable characters like John Cena and Bray Wyatt. That's stupid.
I don't know. I like playing back in the day on 2K19 with like the little like Minecrafty or big head stuff once in a while. But I no matter what, at the end of the day, I need more than 100 call slots. I need them to actually work Because even more than like, oh, people were exploiting for hair is no, 2K themselves had shit going on coding wise where if I downloaded like Chris Saban and then I downloaded like Alex Shelley for some reason, Chris Saban's face would be on like Alex Shelley's tights. Like the mapping for these damn
Yeah, I
logos
had
because
that
they're
problem a
limited
few times. Yeah.
also. Like because the logos are limited also for whatever reason, these consoles literally hold over terabytes of information. The game at max is like 200 gigs. Just let people download as much as on their storage. Who cares? Who gives a shit? You're not gonna do any
Not only
damage to the
that,
console, I feel like at that point.
not
Like
only
unless
that,
there's a crazy technical thing they've bricked themselves with.
not only that, fix the goddamn titles. Because listen,
Oh, you talking about
listen.
how like they just don't look like that good like they used to, like not like golden.
And 2K20, the titles look great. The game sucked. The
Mhm.
titles look beautiful. The
Yeah.
titles glistened in the camera. It looked like
Mhm.
a title.
I want my
But no,
spinner belt to spin when you could hit like the
I
right
was
trigger.
just getting there. One of your biggest titles used to spin.
Yeah, dude.
All
When
right,
you
and
could,
one of your
uh,
first games after that, you made it to where I could make a custom title spin, and that was it. I want a DRW title to spin. All right, I don't know why. I just want it to. Let me have the freedom. All right,
yeah,
that
I don't,
and like, give me the ability to add textures to my attires. Okay, like I want to change the pant button types. I want the belt buckle, the belt strap. I just want to be able to customize everything. All right. I want to be that guy that spends 2 hours making a guy. Also, make my career a my career. Make it an
okay, so segue.
RPG.
Okay, so segue on this one. So I feel like there's different eras of my career and all that. This past couple years we've been dealing with was like a very linear. You're doing like you make your character, but you're doing their story. It doesn't matter. You're doing their stories, and they might be like on the illusion of like, oh, maybe this option or this option. No, if you want to get every single one of those damn unlockables, you have to do every single thing that they want you to do. And for my career, this is where I think even though universe mode gets a lot of flack, the superstar universe mode is pretty good. And I wish that kind of like tied in evolution wise to the my career because I think it was 2K16 or 17. There was a lot more control where like you could go like either to the indies, you did something in Japan, you went to like NXT, you worked your way up, you could jump rosters at any moment. Like there was a bit it was one of those games where you had the
Hold on. If you want to make somebody that plays my career happy, just make it more
reason to
like here
keep
comes the pain.
playing. Yeah, I would want more of a reason to play my career than like that like boom, you play it, you get all your unlockables, you're done, you're out. Because that's the problem with like a bunch of these game modes I feel like is like if you're a gambling addict, you're going to be on my faction forever. Why not? But for my faction, it's you go in, you get your stupid persona cards, you're out. Showcase, you go in, you do it. It's a chore at this point, and you're out. You do my career, you've witnessed their little story they want to tell you. It's cool, and then you're out. The
See,
bread and butter of this is the mode that some people are arguing should be removed with the universe and exhibition. I don't really ever see anyone play online, but I do like how there's multiple game modes for different people. Like I said, even if you do love the My Faction or if you're more into GM or exhibition, all that. But my career in particular, to go back to that one, is I know there's been rumors of like, and I haven't played NBA in a while, but there's like how they handle free roaming out there in the open world because it's made by the same people with 2K. I guess there's something similar where you could do it like that, and I think that would actually kind of work out. Where trying to think of like the best way to go about that, but I feel like that would work for like the my career stuff, but it shouldn't become like a block of for me to get into my game. Because I know some games do that where you have to go into like their little world thing first before you can go into that and everything. So,
Now, I also think that
mhm.
with the my career thing, if they added, so again, I'm going to talk about Madden here because Madden, if you play my franchise on Madden, which is essentially the my career, you
Mhm.
have a thing to where you can go look at records and stuff, right, and chase records, all right, and to get your guy initially or your team like locked in the Hall of Fame, go break some records, Hall of Fame, all right. So if I'm playing my career and I don't just want to play like 1 year, I want to play like 20. I want to go chase the Roman Reigns title record. I want to go chase the most wins on television or the most losses or the most tag team title wins. You know, I want to be able to make my career my career. Like I want it to matter. I want to like if I'm gonna spend the $120 on the highest edition every year, I want to be able to sit there and play for 1,000 fucking hours in one game mode before I'm like, oh shit, hey dude, look, the slobber knocker thing is still a thing, or my GM,
Yeah,
like
I think they should rename it because my career at this point is a linear
is their
pathway that
career.
they
How about
want you to
that?
do. Yeah. Like it's very cool now you can do the female version or the male version,
I,
but
I did like that, yeah.
I think in the women's side they had way better storylines, which is funny. Like I think
They got really
you like
creative with it this year. I'll give them that.
yeah, I think there needs to be more shit that actually matters, like pathway branching wise, like
Yeah,
you
every
know,
decision you make should matter. Yeah.
yeah, and it hasn't been like that for a long time. And so I think if they want to do their story mode, they had Road to WrestleMania. You just get rid of that showcase shit, okay? You do your Road to WrestleMania, and here's what you do. Here's what you do, 2K, okay? You do a canonical Road to WrestleMania where you pick a WrestleMania where you got like, oh, we got everybody from WrestleMania 34, and it's like you have someone's Road to WrestleMania throughout that year, all the stuff they did, and you do it canonically. But then you have your, oh, here's what if CM Punk would have came back. Here's what if Triple H would have not retired. Here's what if New Day would have broke up earlier. Like whatever. You can do your what ifs in different branching pathways, but you have like your main guy of like that's the canonical, like he went in, whatever he did at WrestleMania, that's the thing, because then you can have a very linear path, you can have wacky stuff, and that's your showcase. Because I think showcase is that it's got to a point it needs to go. Like that needs to go. I don't like the slingshot tech because it's like go to the bottom right northeast corner, hip drag, Rey Mysterio while he's got yellow health and you got a full finisher bar. And it's like, dude, back then it was like punch a dude if he had red health and it would activate.
Get his head to red health and then initiate a grapple. Yeah.
Also, while we're at it, 2K, why did I pay $120 to unlock everything from the showcase, but you didn't give me everything? You gave me all the wrestlers, but you didn't give me, I think, like the outfits
Well,
or the arenas. And then the game broke because you couldn't pass through on the WrestleMania where they were outside with like Sting and all them, and it was like Orton and Rollins, and he does the leaping
well, hold
to
on.
catch them with
So,
RKO. It's like
so hold
explain
on.
that.
So, if you played the day one, like if you played drop day, like I did, and you beat the road to WrestleMania, like the 40 years or whatever it
Okay,
was called.
which did not have 40 matches,
No, it did not. No, it did
which
not.
somehow
However,
had less matches than the game 10 years ago.
hold on. However, you did get Brock Lesnar for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar was in the game until the first update.
Yeah, they patched that thing.
Yeah,
It
and then
doesn't matter for me. I'm on PC. But like for people on consoles that never got to experience it or deleted it or this, that, the other, you know, what's the point of you can only play him in the showcase mode? Here's the other thing too. The people that truly also are mad about the Brock thing, because I don't know like opinion wise on it for me. I'm like, who knows on this, true or not. But for the people that are genuinely like, fuck Brock Lesnar, they should have had an option similar to like in Call of Duty, be like, trigger warning, you're about to play as Brock Lesnar. Do you want to skip this? They didn't have that. So fuck you, you're out of luck. You still gotta play as him, but also you're not gonna get to unlock him for the other people that don't give a shit and they just want another person to play as. Especially given you had three different Brock Lesnars ready to go. You had like young Brock Lesnar, the
Young
fucking
Brock. You
yeah,
had you
young
had
Brock,
you had post MMA Brock, and then you had Cowboy
bearded.
Brock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you had
yeah.
three different Brock Lesnars you lost out on. And it's
Now
just
hold on. There's four things on my wish list that we're not just covering like that the Brock Lesnar thing. Four things I'm just gonna add out to the wish list. For the love of God, and this touches back to the My Faction thing. Why is the Persona cards only unlockable through My Faction? Number two, give me more options in the highlight reel. Now, I know a lot of people don't use the highlight reel, but I want sound, filters, removing characters like the referee. I don't want them in my highlight reel. Making the background transparent. Having the ability to have the crowd wear custom t-shirts. If I can have them throw up a custom sign, I don't want them wearing a Stone Cold t-shirt if he's not on my roster.
it's
All right?
absolutely insane that given the also I think you can change t-shirt
No,
stuff like
no, you can't. You can
depending on the
change the
era.
era. The era,
Yeah, the
yes.
era. Yeah.
But regardless, if John Cena is not on my roster,
Yeah.
there's a
You're still
big
gonna say,
chance that
bro, it's
Billy
still gonna
Gunn's
be
not on it. I don't want them wearing DX shit.
dude,
I don't
it's a
want them wearing a John
WWE.
Cena shirt.
You're not gonna win that one. You're not gonna win that one. We're gonna have to give up on that one, sadly.
Well, and then
I get you on that. It
and
sucks.
then
You could probably mod if you're
hold on.
really like determined on that.
I have one more thing because we're going to talk about the whole game here. More game mechanics, and what I mean by that, you strive yourself every year because I see it every fucking year when it comes to the review. This is super realistic. Really? Okay. So if John Cena and The Rock are wrestling in 2K and both go down, I want the referee to start counting. I want the referee to start throwing up the 10 count. All right. And then, here, how about that? Sleeper hold counts. Bring them back. You did
Yeah,
it once. You did it
yeah,
once.
yeah. I hate when you give me something and you remove it. That is my biggest pet peeve in gaming. And yeah, 2K19 with like the lockups and everything, a lot of that just bring it back. But let me take it back a step, all right? Because you covered a couple things. Like the second
Yeah.
one, you're not winning that one. You're not getting that
Yeah, I
damn.
know.
You're not getting that era
I know.
stuff, or you're not getting the removing of the eras. It's probably gonna be stuck to the eras for all that. But the first thing in particular, if you can remind me again, the hell,
Oh, the first thing I said?
yeah.
Make the Persona cards unlockable without
No,
having to
no.
touch my faction.
I don't think they're gonna do that just because
They
of
should. If you
they
if you
should,
buy,
but they're
okay,
not
hold on.
going to.
Here we go. Here we go. I'll even give you a addendum. Okay? Don't make it unlockable for the base game. But if I spend 120 to 150 for your highest edition, I shouldn't have to touch my faction. Will
You're
I?
spoiled.
Yes, but
You're
I'm not
spoiled
spoiled.
because we played Sparking Zero. And Sparking Zero, you didn't have to play the campaign to unlock anybody because they were normal fucking game developers. And they said, you know what?
Well, I
Maybe
didn't
you don't
buy
like
the
my
highest edition
faction.
of I didn't
Maybe
buy the highest edition of Sparking Zero, so I have to play the campaign. But
no, you don't have to play the campaign to unlock everybody. Like literally, it just keep like you level up your account level. That's what they need basically. You have account level. If you get to a certain level, you unlock more stuff in the VC shop or whatever. That's how that should be. But the money, that's where
and
that
hear me
persona
out.
nonsense will
Hear
come
me
from.
out.
So
There is a percentage out here that I saw earlier today on Twitter. That I think it said 72.7% of people that play WWE 2K also plays NBA 2K and the other 2Ks, right? There is a currency in all of the games called VC, virtual currency, right? If it's one developer, all right, which is 2K, Why do I have to spend countless hours or real money to get VC in each of those games when maybe I just want to rack up VC in WWE, then go over to NBA, the game I'm not going to drop 100 hours in, go pick up a pair of Jordans because I'm got the unlock everything. I'm not spending VC on characters in WWE because if you get the unlock everything, the VC in the 2K games are meaningless. I have a million VC in 2K24. Yeah.
Yeah, WWE
Yeah.
2K24. Cause I mean, 'cause there's the unlock everything.
Yeah. And
VC's
there's nothing I
it's
can spend my
it's
VC on.
meaningless. Yeah, it's meaningless.
Well, I mean, there
So
is if you play my faction, but it doesn't even carry. It doesn't carry over. So like,
there's a new game every year, so that's already not going to happen, sadly too. So
okay, cool.
that
Just carry it through the games that year. NBA, the other
you're
2Ks that I
asking too
don't
much
play.
for game developers that ain't doing that shit. They
Hold
ain't
on,
doing
hold
there's no
on, hold on.
competition. Why would
No,
they?
it's not. No, it's not because Call of Duty does the same thing that I just said. The COD points carry over to the other Call of Duties.
I don't know. I hate to be that guy, but it does for a while. Okay, we're gonna put a big old asterisk on this one, and here's why. I'm gonna get heated now because we're mentioning fucking that bullshit. All right, here's a real life story. Call of Duty Vanguard dropped. Fucking that was the last one of the OG Warzone. Here's why I bring that up. My brother got a Snoop Dogg skin or whatever. Literally, like a week after, 2 weeks, they're like, "Oh, Warzone 1 shutting down. We're only gonna have Warzone 2." Every single fucking one of those skins, null and void. Every single one of the COD points, null and void. And they were locked to their particular games. And I'm pretty certain that's gonna happen again in this route too. Is like it would only matter for a certain amount of games, which is
No,
better
hold
than
on.
nothing.
Hold
It's
on. No,
better
no,
than
no.
nothing.
That's
So
not true because Ricky, my nephew, bought 21 Savage and he can play with him in this Warzone.
okay, but that's Warzone. I'm saying if he bought the Snoop Dogg skin in Warzone 1, it should have gone to Warzone 2. But even
Oh,
more
yeah,
than
yeah,
that,
yeah.
say he bought 21 Savage in Modern Warfare 1, it should go to Black Ops 6, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3.
You're right. Yeah.
It should continuous.
Yeah.
So, but back to 2K and all that, like mechanic wise
Yeah.
for 2K, they need to bring back the stuff they removed nonetheless because they did some cool stuff this year. I think they stepped up a little bit because they saw like especially like the blood department for some reason and like hardcore weapons, they were like, because AW Fight Forever, they're like, we're gonna kill this game. They just like all the stuff that Fight Forever had over them. They were like, here's your fun weapons, here's your blood, here's some back and forth, like some better wrestling stuff. But uh, I'm worried. I hope they don't go lazy this year. I know they say the thing of like, oh, it's gonna be groundbreaking, never like, but I find that hard to believe that the game's still on PS4 and Xbox One. My thing, mechanic wise, gameplay wise, um, that I want because overall I'm pretty happy like with the new game modes or match types, I should say. Sorry, the new match types, the just fun to be had and whatnot. I think more my driving point would be universe and my GM. My care for the story designer is very limited just because there's a new game every year. And I feel like we'll get one really good year of like pretty cool stories, and then that's it. But they should still add it because that brings out the longevity of this game. I will say this, the longevity of 2K24, I felt like, for me personally, outlived most of their other games. Like 2K19 is an anomaly because you had 2K20 and then they took the year off of 2K21. But 2K24 played that a lot longer than 23 and 22. And so I think even though they did stretch out the DLCs, I think filling in the gaps with the My Faction personas and like some weird stuff like where they had the thing for Bray Wyatt, like additional DLC, even though you already got all the DLC, whatever. Like a story thing would be pretty cool because then somebody could be like, oh, I'm dropping like a Halloween theme story or Christmas theme story. And it's like that should still be allotment, I think development wise, that would help longevity of your game.
Now,
So
also, I appreciated the Bray Wyatt DLC, and I understand why people that pre-ordered it or got the highest edition had to pay again because it was going to JoJo and the family and all that. I'm cool with
yeah, I
that.
think it was okay. It was pretty
That's
cool.
fine.
Yeah.
But you said DLCs earlier, and I just want I just want to add this. Make the DLCs matter. This is why I stopped playing 2K24. All right? I love WCW. I love it. They had their moment in the sun. All right? When you dropped the NWO edition of last year, kill it. All right? I don't need to buy Diamond Dallas Page again when I've played him for free last year. All right? Unless you're going to put back in Smells Like Teen Spirit, which was his WCW theme song, we'll talk about it. Till that's added in, I'm not paying for him. That, and I watch the Pat McAfee show every day. All right?
Who the fuck wants to play as that? That was the biggest waste
The only
of
cool thing about the
time
Pat
ever.
McAfee thing would have been is if when you got the Pat McAfee pack, is if he became a commentator. I do like that I got to play as Pat McAfee because it did make some cool things with Universe. Like I got to see Pat McAfee fight people. That's cool. I'm cool with it. I
I
don't care
don't
about the
like
rest of his people.
I don't like how some shit too, like move wise, like he's the only person that can punt the football.
Yeah.
Like I don't like when they restrict certain moves um to certain people. Like I think Carlito's the only guy that can bite the apple. I think Sandman's the only one that can like hit his head with the can, and then I think there's like the what is it, the Russian leg sweep with
Yeah, with
the kendo
the
stick.
cane leg sweep. Yeah.
Terry Funk has like a little spin around with the ladder,
And so,
but
okay, hold on. So this is just old mechanics they're putting back in because if you
exactly,
remember SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, especially if you had the Wii, they made it interactive because if you spun the Wii controller,
yeah,
you'd put the ladder on your head and start spinning around hitting people. All right.
yeah.
Also, another thing that I want added back. Again, I'm a very customizable person when it comes to 2K. They always pride themselves on custom matches, on what you can do with a custom match. So here's my thing. What if I want to have a cage match that's not actually a cage match, all right? I just want a fight that's going to happen in a cage. It doesn't have to end there. I want to be able to throw the dude through the door, walk him outside the ring, beat him against the cage 1,000 times, drag him back in, kill him, and finish it. All right? So what I'm saying here is I shouldn't have to make a cage match where I can customize it and put a cage around the ring or a Hell in a Cell. Back in like when they first did that and they first brought in like custom matches, you could have a match and just throw a Hell in a Cell in there, and it wasn't a Hell in a Cell match or it wasn't a cage match. You could have a one-on-one match inside the Elimination Chamber. All right, give me my custom matches back, not a custom Elimination Chamber where I can change what type of chamber it is. Though that was cool, I did like the fact that I could, but I didn't just want it limited to that match. Maybe I want an Iron Man match inside the chamber, all right?
Another thing, I know people don't want to think about the COVID times, they sucked, but I actually really miss the COVID arena. Like, why did you add it for one damn year? Because I thought the layout of the Thunderdome and
It
then
was
like
cool.
the cage, the elimination chamber, Thunderdome, everything like that was really cool. I don't know why
Yeah.
they removed that because seeing like the little monitors set up everywhere, and it's so cool with like Gunther's entrance and a bunch of other people. It's like
Because it takes over the whole
that's
arena. Yeah.
yeah, it's like I
Now,
want that. That's really
now hold
cool.
on. There was a really cool thing that they added secretly in the last couple of years. So I don't know if you ever noticed it. I noticed it with my universe modes because again, I do a colleague. If I hosted a elimination chamber match, all right, and I spent the 20 hours it always took to make an arena because I put a lot of detail into it, I wanted that elimination chamber match to happen in that arena. But for a long time, they locked it to where if you had an Elimination Chamber match, it was happening at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in the Elimination Chamber arena. Now they've added it to where you can have a Rumble and Elimination Chamber wherever you want it. Leave it alone. Leave it there. Don't fuck with that mechanic. Don't say, I'm giving you this, so I'm taking this away. No, stop it. Stop. The game's already 200 gigs. Leave it in. Leave it in 2K.
Yeah, I don't know why there's so many restrictions of like you can only do a war games in the war games arena, like
Well,
only
okay,
this.
I understand that
And
because
it's
of the
like,
mechanic of the 2 rings. I
they're just
understand
fucking
that.
ring aprons. Switch out the textures.
Well, yeah, but then also make it to where I can make an arena with 2 rings. How
Yeah,
about that? What if I want to have a War Games arena? Or you pride yourself every year, 2K, of talking about WCW things, putting in WCW stuff. You gave me 2 rings. Give me World War III.
you're not getting that. You're not getting. You're
Let me
not getting
have a
that.
Rumble in 2 separate rings. Because that stare down with the final 2, one's in one ring, the other's in the other, and let them go, that would be a priceless moment in Universe or
Maybe in
whatever you're
like
doing.
the Xbox One XX or the PS6, but not in this little generation. They're gonna use that excuse of like, oh, it's not that powerful. It's like this son of a bitch ran fucking Cyberpunk and GTA and all that, barely.
Listen,
Cyberpunk, but it's like,
the PS5 can do unmarkable. We're gonna have a.
well,
We're
I'm
gonna
talking about
have a.
because the game is limited to PS4.
Yeah,
But
we're gonna have a
yeah.
console conversation one day on this podcast because I got some things to say about PlayStation, and I'm a PlayStation diehard. Never owned an Xbox. So, however, when we go back to 2K, here's a big thing for me. Even though I shut it off every game after I've beaten every mode, I'm gonna hate when I say this because I hate this thing in the game anyway. Give me updated commentators. Give me the
I turn
option.
off the commentary.
I
So
do too. I do too. But
yeah,
give
I
me the
do like
option.
the announcers. That is a lot. That's really cool. That's really fun. It sucks because the Irvin's out, but
No, hold on
she'll
though.
probably be in this one.
Hold on though. Let me pick who my announced team's gonna be.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
might
cool.
leave him in the game once. Who knows? Like maybe I want to switch up my Ka show or Universe show, whatever it is. If I am running Raw, maybe I don't want Michael Cole on commentary. Maybe I don't want Corey Graves on commentary.
They don't want him on commentary either. So
Maybe I don't want Vic Joseph on NXT. Here's another thing. If I'm running NXT, I don't want to see Michael Cole. I don't want to hear his voice. He's not NXT. I
I
want
want
Booker
Wayne
T.
Barrett.
When I hear Trick Williams' theme song hit, I don't want to hear Michael Cole. I want to hear Booker T going. Because when, whoop that trick. Yeah, whoop that trick. I like it. I want that. I don't want Michael Cole just sitting there the whole theme song. Trick Williams, blue chip prospect out of NXT. He's looking to do remarkable things in this universe. I hate it.
I
I
turn that. I
hate
turn
it.
commentary off anyway. I haven't had commentary in a while,
Since
but
2016, since WWE 2K16, I turned commentary off when I learned that was a thing. What I used to do is before streaming became a thing for me, I would stand a video camera up in front of my TV, mute the TV during the matches because I was not listening to that commentary. Because I would try to play off of them for a minute, and when I realized I would set them up for one-liners and they weren't gonna talk back to me, I was like, "Oh, I'm done with you then."
all right. Let's shift gears to universe mode. All right. There's been a lot of talk about universe mode.
It's
There's
my most
debates
played.
on
It's my most played mode.
same. There's debates on should it be removed. I guess they have bricked themselves development wise because not many people know how to update it. There's so many limitations with it. When they add something, it breaks something. The final form is you combine a universe mode and a my GM mode, and I know there's people who've had that thing of like, well, I don't want to deal with the fucking money in my GM mode, and it's like, no, dude. What we mean by that is literally, you can sandbox it. You don't have to worry about the money. You can go in there. You can make your own custom brands for my GM. That'd be amazing. You can use anybody as a GM. You can use all like a pre-selected like here is like the bonuses for the
You got to
GMs,
stop
whatever.
making
Like,
WWE into TW. That's what you need to stop doing.
no, I'm saying that's the end game goal of what that would have to be for
Yeah.
Universe and my GM, because they can't do anything more with Universe mode, I guess. Like development wise, they've
They could.
made it sound like, dude, the game doesn't work. I fucking can't cash in anything. I set a rivalry, and for some reason, a guy on like a whole different brand shows up. The game used to have drafts and doesn't have it anymore. I can't. People just randomly showing up from other shows, like the universe mode just doesn't work, and it sucks because they took away promos, which I would rather have than not have,
Nope. Kill them.
and
Take them
which
out of the
I know
game.
some people will hate the generic ones, but as a call better and all that, you can write shit on top of the screen instead, because that's the closest thing you can get for that whole mechanic. But they did the rivalry stuff
That's if you
recently,
like
and I
record the show. I never recorded. I was a live call fed, but like, I see your point. I
yeah.
I have a hate and love relationship with the promo thing. Um, you brought up universe mode. The one thing that I want is, so if I make a custom show and I eliminate Raw and SmackDown and all that stuff, and like I'm veering away from WWE, there's nothing WWE related, right? Obviously, you can't not talk about WWE in the game because that's what the commentators are going to do. So I shut them off anyway. However, if I'm hosting a custom show in universe, which is 90% of what people do, I want to stop being force fed WWE things in my universe mode. Like, I don't want fucking Charlotte Flair showing up if she's not in my universe mode at all. If she's not a selected member of the roster, why are you booking her? Why are you trying to force me Charlotte Flair?
Well, in like 2K19, it worked perfectly mechanic wise because I don't think people from other shows were showing up that much. But over the last two games, like they're just nonstop showing up, which is weird.
That does not happen for me. I don't. That might just be a you thing. That's. I also never put anyone.
I haven't
Oh,
played
okay,
in a
that's a lie.
second, but that was happening a lot.
I would.
So
The only wrestlers that ever got put into my actual universe mode was like the NWO, John Cena, Kurt Angle, I'm not gonna say that fucking name.
huh?
Brock and like cool people. Like I'm not putting Tozawa in. Okay, like I'm not doing it. But like there's also, why is it that I have to go to a separate? If I make a character, right, and I'm setting up my call show, why now do I have to go to the universe mode, go to that character, go to his entrance, and redo it? Why
Because
is
for
that a
some
thing?
reason, for some reason, they have set it where the cause, everything, alignments, cause, tag teams, uh, everything is tied to an overall exhibition, Universe 1, Universe 2, Universe 3. And if you don't save
Yeah.
it for everything, then you can
No,
just,
and I do. Like I save it for everything, but I still have to go in. So like, all right,
yeah.
let's say tonight I set up like DRW, right?
Mhm.
And I make Chris Zero. I save him for Expedition in the universe mode. Now I have to go to universe mode, go to the roster, go to Chris Zero, go to his entrance and redo it again, even
You
though I've
shouldn't have
probably
to.
spent 30, 45 minutes making his entrance because I have 30,000 pounds of pyro.
You shouldn't have to. That might just be a weird bug.
Also, I will give them one pro this year. The pyro limit was gone. And I loved that. Because when I tell you, as soon as I realized I could abuse it, I did. Like, I don't know if you ever saw Chris Hero's entrance in
No,
2K24, but from beginning to end, it was nothing but pyro. All
yeah,
right? It
my
was
Chris
a
Zero,
running meme.
he was bald and he had Zach Zero's face on his ass. You're a big fan. Thanks 2K for
Yeah,
breaking my
that's
calls.
cool. Even
But
though I had dreads,
yeah,
all right.
yeah, no, you were bald. You bald and beautiful, right? But for some reason, yeah, I don't know why you put Zach's face on your tights, but nonetheless, my GM, which
So
came
here's
back
a mode.
recently and has been added more and more stuff recently versus where it was. But in 2K25, we may see. I don't think we're at that point where we're going to see the combination of the two with Universe. I think we'll see the final finale of here's what 2008 had for their GM mode, and 2K25 will be like, now you can do the Rumble, the Chamber, maybe you can have a custom brand because you can have custom people be the GMs now, which is cool. But maybe you can have the custom brand. You can actually fucking select the titles because I don't want the ugly ass universal title. I want the spinner. I want the spinner belts, okay? I want the big gold. That pisses me off too. I want the big gold. I want like there's certain belts I do not want to see certain belts. So I'm really hoping
Well, hold on.
this is like
Are you saying in your 2K you couldn't have another title?
no, I'm saying in my GM, that mode in
Yeah.
particular, you are locked to just the titles they decided for that brand. Like Raw, it says you must have this title, this title, this title, this title. Like I want to be able to switch out like the look and be like, all right, I want the spinner belt instead. I don't want this intercontinental title. I want the old one. Maybe I want an updated tag team belt. I don't want the big old period blood.
Hey, buddy,
Penny belts.
how long ago was it that you played my GM?
I don't know. It's been a second.
Because they do have that now.
I think you're just talking about universe mode.
No,
My
no, I'm talking
GM
about my
where I have
GM.
to buy wrestlers,
Yeah,
draft, all that.
yeah.
I can't.
Because the
You're
last
telling
time
me.
I had it, the Raw main title was, I think, the Winged Eagle for me. Yeah.
Okay, so I will try. All right. After this, I'll boot up good old 2K24, and if I can go to my GM and I can switch out the world title, that'd be phenomenal. Because that's a
I'm
big thing that I
pretty
want.
sure, like, the last time I
So,
played it, yeah, I had the option.
mhm.
So I don't. I know that, like, if you do certain things, it does lock certain things, yes. Also, I don't want, when it comes to the draft, why can I only draft certain individuals?
Um,
In the game,
I
if you give me your biggest roster we've ever seen, let me draft them. Let me draft Andre the Giant first round. I mean, I think he is in my GM, but like that's not the point.
Well, you have to make him like from a legend to a normal wrestler because legends won't show up in the draft, and he won't be big.
Okay,
And
all right,
and
but
neither will local indie talent. So like if you make him a wrestler, he will. But to add on to that, no, like not every single person will show up. They just like grab a pool of people and said, all right, this is like the pocket of wrestlers that you can, um, hire from. So
that's stupid. That is stupid. I paid $120. Don't lock who I can and can't draft. That's dumb. And make it to where I can draft created wrestlers too.
you can. What the hell are you smoking?
I
I
was
did.
not able to when I played it last.
I mean, that was like day one. I
Yeah,
could
no, I
download
was
on
only
there.
able to draft actual wrestlers.
Maybe we're on maybe they had two different builds. And I don't even realize it between console and PC. Maybe
Yeah, I mean, maybe I haven't played my GM in a long time, so I might boot it up after this and see exactly what I can and can't do. But
my GM's
also,
pretty neat though. For like, I know some people don't like the aspect that it could feel like a card game because you have like, oh, this guy's a brawler or a technician or he's leveling up or this at the other. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of okay with it. Doesn't bother me that much. But I
I
feel like
think we
that
should
takes that
leave it.
need.
I think we should leave it to the match quality. I understand why you should not book. Why one
Well, if you
time you should
play,
book Omos versus Tozawa because it is funny to see the height difference. But like, that's not busting a 90 rating. It's
uh,
not.
well,
Nowhere
if
in the
you're
world.
doing like match quality wise and you actually play it, that's where like every single one of your match could be like a 5-star match, and
Yeah, it could be. It depends on your
that's where I'm
difficulty. Yeah.
thinking the whole card mechanic thing balances that out, I guess. But
That, and if we're gonna talk about like, so Universe Mode, my GM, Road to WrestleMania, my career. I want to be able to just make 2K a experience every time I play it, okay? Because like yes, you've made it to where now I can change the songs that I hear, right? How about this, buddy? Every console has it linked to where you can link your Spotify or your whatever to it. Let me change my jukebox. If I got
Never
my
gonna happen,
Spotify
brother.
linked, let me throw Motionless in White in there and not just My Brutality.
Homie, it's never gonna happen, and I'm almost 90% certain there's some weird ass copyright law, and that's the reason why. Because there was a day way
Yeah, you
back
can have
when, I
custom music.
think
Yeah.
you can have custom music. That's other games I'm pretty sure had it too, where you could add in you know, music players that this, that, the other integration with YouTube or Spotify or download the song and it's just there. I'm pretty sure something occurred. I can't remember what it was, but something happened, and then somebody, the anti-fun police, showed up and was like, "We can't have that." So,
Well, no, I'm not saying make it to where like then after I put a song in the jukebox that like everybody can hear it, like cool muted for me. Like if I'm streaming it, like you have the streamer mode on anyway, to where it kills the music so I don't get copyrighted. But like if you're killing the copyright anyway, what's stopping you from being able to let me listen to the song if I already have Spotify linked to my PlayStation? And then if I want to, I go to the Spotify thing and hit play, and it's playing over the game anyway. It's nothing different than being able to let me integrate my Spotify playlist into the game. Like, there's nothing different.
development, man. This, I mean, they got to develop it. That's it. As someone who works with developers on the daily, it's this thing's being pumped out every single year is the problem, and it's expectations for it have shifted so much, like every single year, between who's in the roster, who's not, updating people's looks, this, that, the other. Like, I think there's a lot that goes into it, and I truly feel like if you would have just had a WWE 2K experience, like a game like a Fortnite, because that's how everything is kind of nowadays, it actually probably would have been a better game.
Yeah,
But
so
I
you're
think,
saying so you're saying basically if they drop WWE 2K and it just updates regularly,
yeah,
adding more people in, graphics updates, uh, things are getting added like how Fortnite does. Yeah, I think, and like hell, dude, make me pay a 120-year subscription for it, like
no, there's no, the subscriptions are dead, bro.
for like the unlock
I don't care.
everything every year. Like if I want to keep it going, yeah, that would be cool.
I know
But
people had said stuff about like, what if 2K ever did a battle pass? And I feel like that's the only way it
if
would
you ever
work.
say that sentence in this podcast ever again, I'm flying to North Carolina.
Dude, that's not what I said, all right? I'm saying
Okay,
that's what people have said, is like, if 2K
listen,
did a battle pass, it's a bad idea for the fact the game comes out every single year. Could you imagine a battle pass for a game that comes out every single year also? It's
I hate
stupid.
the fact that
So,
battle passes are a thing anyway. 2K does not need one.
yeah, I mean, look at Call of Duty. Like, I will not spend a single dime on a Call of Duty battle pass because there's a new Call of Duty every year. It's so stupid.
Madden has
Like,
one.
Fortnite is the only ones that have done it perfectly.
Destiny.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, like, yeah, but for like those games that, like, they're not pumping out a new game every single year. So, because
Yeah.
I'm thinking, like, even Minecraft, like, their mine coins for stuff is
I
like
didn't
in
know Minecraft
collaboration
even
with the
started
modders.
that. I haven't played
They don't
Minecraft
have
in a little
they
bit
don't have a
too.
battle pass, but they have a where modders, map makers, all that, like, they can get paid and stuff like that. It's pretty cool, but
Yeah, I
it's,
didn't know that at all.
I'm trying to think otherwise. I mean, like Rocket League, they have their little battle pass, Rocket Pass. But it
Yeah,
makes
but that's
sense for a game
integrated with
that's
Fortnite
like
though.
a consistent game that comes out every year. I think the only thing that would kill 2K of, like, because if they stuck a, like, this is it, and then, you know, we're not gonna make a game every single year, is like universe and GM mode updates probably wouldn't happen
No,
as much.
it's not that. It's not
So
that. It's when they sign talent. You got to realize like they're gonna get a certain amount of royalties for being in the game too, and
yeah, and
like
they're making bank consecutive games, but that's also what's killing like the fact that it's been a year now, we're not going to pay these royalties. So and that's the other thing is that some of these games like 2K19 I don't think is on Steam anymore. Like they have literally
the only
like
2K
the
that's on
games don't
Steam is
exist.
2K24 and Battlegrounds.
That's like insane to think about that they're like those games are dead to us. And that's why like not only unless you own the physical copy or you're like like there's there's already not enough reason to go back to another game unless you're like, well, gee willikers, I really loved the CM Punk showcase in 2K15. Like, oddly enough, showcase mode, the game that you're like, I don't really want to play because it's short every year. That's the only game mode you'd probably go back to play because you wouldn't really care about the universe or my GM or exhibition, maybe the career mode since it's linear, but you can't play online. You can't download people in my
Also,
faction. So
before like anything gets like wrapped up here, because I know we're getting close to your time limit. Just to stroll back to my career. So, what is the pinnacle moment of a pro wrestler's career?
I mean, winning the world title at Mania,
What
going in
else?
the Hall of Fame.
That one, right?
I mean,
Hall of Fame's the
some
big one,
people
right?
some people don't really care about the Hall of Fame,
I
but
do. I do. If you give me my career, my end goal every year should be the Hall of Fame.
yeah,
All right.
every single year should be the Hall of Fame.
The
Now here's
last time the Hall of Fame was even mentioned in the game of
it's
being able to
2K20,
get to it was 2K20. And
and that was
day
cool
one,
because it was male and female winning.
yeah, but day one you were already in. You knew you were getting there.
Yeah,
I was mad because I'm like, I already know I'm here. Why the fuck would I play this whole thing out now? Like I know
yeah.
how it ends. I want to go into the Hall of Fame. So give me that like during the my career, be like, hey, here's your Hall of Fame, like here is your road to Hall of Fame. Be a world champion 3 times, main event WrestleMania twice, punk. Um, break a record, set a record, do something. I don't know. There's things you can fucking do.
I mean, yeah, there's things you can do, like be the biggest loser, like lose
Yeah,
100 times,
yeah.
win 100 times, have a undefeated WrestleMania streak longer than Undertaker. Yeah, I mean, there's literally
I'm not
tons of
doing that,
things
but yeah.
you can do. That's a lot. That's a lot of
Beat
years, but
Goldberg's unbeaten streak, go 175-0. Like
that's a lot of wins. But I mean, it's possible, and it's yeah,
the only one thing I did like is in this my career, there was like a retro thing for a minute where you had flashbacks where you got to go fight like Hogan, you had to go fight Brett, Macho Man, The Rock, and Austin. But by God, if you ever put me in a situation you put me in again in that 40 years of WrestleMania, I will drive to wherever that
where
headquarters
it's the
is.
Rumble,
Oh my God, dude,
40-year
I
Rumble,
spent 2 hours. I
dude,
spent 2 hours.
greatest waste of a rumble, waste of time ever. The other mode where I think they blocked it off where you couldn't like at first you could play as Brock, but then they removed it. Like afterwards you couldn't play as Brock in that rumble. And he's one of the people you can like cheese and win it too.
Yeah,
Um
yeah, because I did. I won it with Brock.
and it's just like, man, I
I
mean the
actually
Cena
went
one
back
was
and won it like
cool.
5 times, but like that's not the
Cena was
point.
cool because it was like Cena, Austin, Hogan, and Bruno, I think.
Yeah,
Like it was like each era's like huge name equivalent. I don't think it was Rock, I think it was Austin instead, but it was like I get you want to have a grand finale for showcase for some weird reason too, but the career mode I think is the bigger one to have that Hall of Fame every single year. So
and not only that, let me do my own Hall of Fame speech. Like, give me options to choose from,
yeah, yeah,
but I want the Hall of Fame speech.
yeah,
I want to pick my inductor
that would be fun.
because
That would
I
be a lot
every
of fun.
year, every year I know who I'm picking. I'm making Roman Reigns induct me because he's my tribal chief. But no, seriously, there's a lot of things they could do with 2K. I am very excited for it, and I know that
I am
January
too.
27th
They get my money every year.
they are dropping something. I hope the game's not dropping with no hype. That would suck
No, the game
because
will
I
come
have
out right
no
before
money put aside
Mania.
for it. So
Here's exactly how that'll go. They'll fly out all the next makers, whatever the fuck they're called. They'll come out in Rumble. They'll have a great time in Indianapolis. They'll get to play the game early. They'll get to stream, record all this stuff. They'll get to sprinkle out content for like a month. And then that's when they'll be like, oh, we have this, this, and this like coming out. You know, I think this one will just be here's the game is coming out, here's the cover star, and then a little bit of like some gameplay stuff. But I think Rumble, that's the big like we'll hear about different game modes, this, that, the other, and then we'll probably hear about DLC right before the game comes
so
out. I mean, the game's right around the corner if you think about it, between Rumble to the entire month with like the chamber hype and then WrestleMania. So I'm guessing the game probably drops in like March, right before Mania.
so real fast, I just want to bring something up before we close it out. I just want to this has nothing to do with 2K, but I want to bring this up so we can talk about it. Uh Again, I know we're past your hour mark. I apologize, Dom, but we're probably going to talk after this anyway. Uh Again, I know this is not 2K, but we talk wrestling on this a lot. Let's talk about somebody that's probably going to be in 2K25, and I wonder how they're going to swish around it right now. Corey Graves might no longer be working with WWE after tonight.
It's not a big deal.
Did you see everything though?
I have not read everything, but look, I don't think unless he went out and straight up did some really heinous stuff, like him being on commentary, it's not gonna be end of the world. I mean,
So
Samantha, I would bet money Samantha Irving might still be in as ring announcer. You know,
so if what I saw is a true tweet, Corey Graves. So Corey Graves was announced that he was no longer going to be on Raw.
yeah,
Um, that he was going he was going back to old NXT.
yeah.
His tweet said, "Imagine chasing your dream and being told, not deciding, that you're no longer physically able to pursue your dream. Then you dedicate your life something dream adjacent and being pretty fucking awesome at it. And then when it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor, being told you're not famous enough for your own job, just in case you're wondering where I've been." Uh,
Okay, let's all right. Let's talk about it. So first off, let's start. Did he get a huge pay cut for going to NXT? Now, given I think he should at least be on
well,
SmackDown.
hold on,
I'm not like Joe Tessitore,
hold
Corey
on,
Graves.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
Should be there,
It
but
doesn't. It doesn't end there.
oh man.
He also then follows the tweet up, later deletes this, and goes, "I've got a lot to say tonight. Don't miss hashtag NXT." He deletes the tweet. He gets pulled from NXT. Doesn't even commentate tonight. So now the speculation is, what happens now? Like, he was pulled from the NXT commentary team tonight. There's been rumblings over the last several weeks that Graves wasn't happy with his position with the company after he was removed from Raw. He was pulled for criticizing. That's like one of the biggest reports I've seen. And the before we into this whole conversation with it, Jonathan Coachman tweets about it. He goes, "So Corey is upset for being bumped from the main announce roster. It happened to JR 5 times. It's happened to Michael Cole multiple times. Happened to me," Jonathan Coachman's tweet, "multiple times. He's right. He is really good at his job, but playing in the sandbox a little bit better may not hurt next time. Embrace whatever role you have and understand that you are lucky to have it. There are only 3 to 5 of these jobs at the highest level. Who knows?
Yep.
Maybe they asked me to be a part of a 3-man booth. We know he doesn't like that. LOL, sorry, had to. Last line, a joke. The rest, it's wrestling business. It happens. It does happen.
Yeah, there's only so many people that do this, and I have a bigger problem with them putting in people not fucking anywhere's relevant to wrestling, in my opinion. I think some people have done better job, just randomly showing up like Joe Tessitore, but it's like, you know, you're only gonna strike gold so much. But Pat McAfee was in the fucking ring, all right, before he
Yeah.
was doing stuff,
And Pat McAfee's
commentating all
famous.
this, you know, but you can't just take freaking Shaq all of a sudden and throw him on commentary every single Monday, like, or as funny as it would be, like a Snoop Dogg on commentary every single Monday. It's like there's very few people that could jump that line, and I think Corey Graves is very lucky that he should look at it as a way of, because he has that experience, he can go to NXT. And there's great people down there like the Booker T's and I think Barrett, or Vic Joseph. I forget who's the
No,
consistent
they
team down
pulled
there,
they pulled
because I feel like
Barrett
they
from
switched it
NXT.
around. But it's like,
It's Vic, it's Vic, Wade, and Booker, but it's been Vic and Booker for a long time.
but it's such a good thing that you get to put over the next generation. I don't think it's an awful thing, personally.
I
I get
also
like you
think
want to be on Mania. Like that's the thing, is you're losing out on your Mania, you're losing out on your pay-per-views. I completely get that's probably the part that sucks the most.
Well, I also listen. All right. I don't think Corey Graves would have been criticized and pulled so bad if he did not try to become Pat McAfee when Pat McAfee left. Because when Pat McAfee was there, he was friends with Cole. Like, he was the guy yeeting all over himself, dancing to Shinsuke's theme song. Well, when Pat McAfee went to college football for a few months, Corey Graves tried to take that charismatic role. Corey's not very charismatic. Corey's good at the booth, yeah, but know your part. And you only geek out when your wife comes on screen? Like, come on, Bubba. But also, Masha Slamovich was on NXT tonight with the TNA title on her shoulder.
Nice, pretty damn good.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about this DLC wise for 2K25. What's your predictions? I know a lot of people talking TNA. Do you think that's a possibility?
My prediction for the 2K25 DLC, I have a feeling we'll get something Samoan. With everything that's happened this year, I think we're gonna get like a Samoan dynasty.
Like OG, like
Yeah,
OG
I'm
Samoan.
not talking just Yoko and Rikishi. I'm talking the Samoan SWAT team: Alpha, Sika, the Head Shrinkers, Yoko, Rikishi,
You're talking
Umaga.
all people that are in the game, by the way. I want you to think about how big the game is already. A lot of people are already in the game.
Well, Alpha and Sika probably aren't.
Yeah, they're probably not.
3-minute
So
warnings probably not. I know Rosie hasn't been in a game since like WWE Here Comes the Pain.
that's a fair like
Yeah.
addition, I feel like, because I don't think it takes away from, at the end of the day, you gotta have like updated people that like do whatever you can for the love of God to get like the Penta and the Motor City Machine Guns, like the people that just now came back, get them, or debuted, whatever, like get those guys in there. You gotta, I feel like they messed up a bit last year. They got a lot of criticism with the NXT. There should have been an NXT pack, so hopefully they right that wrong this year. We get some
I don't
NXT
think there should be an
people.
NXT pack. I think there should just be everyone from NXT. If they've been
That's
in there for at least a year, put them in.
Yeah, yeah. If they've been in NXT for at least a year, they should be in, because there's a lot that we're missing, like Devon Wagner's all that before he got released. But it's like
Are we missing Von Wagner
I'm
though?
missing come Tuesday. Like, dude, yeah, a lot of those NXT people should already be in there. But I think to keep it refreshed, you have like a refreshed like main roster people, you have an NXT people, you have a throwback like your WCW. And I liked actually them doing that ECW hardcore thing. So I think they should try keep doing that. Like honestly, get like some other like freaking Blue
Okay,
World
so
Order bastards
hold
or
on though.
something.
There's
I
not a whole
do.
lot. There's not a whole lot you can do with the ECW pack though, because
Weapons. What? Well, because it's not just people now. That's the thing. Is like the DLCs, and I think they should be costumes, in my opinion, because that's where you get the TNA old school like AJ and all them.
give
Like
me
they should
the
do outfits. What?
ECW arena.
Is not
Give
in the
me the
game.
23. No, the ECW
That's
arena
how it
is
used to
not.
be.
The ECW arena's in the game, but not the
Not the
ECW
ECW.
arena. Give
Yeah.
me the 2300. Um,
Yeah.
give me give me a gone but not forgotten pack.
Yeah.
I want a dead wrestler pack. Call it the Dead Wrestler Beach.
That ain't happening.
That was cool. But like you could do like the cool dead guys like Bruiser, Sid Vicious, Mongo. Don't put Mongo in the game. You could cash in on Bray. You can. Eddie's probably going to be in the game again. Owen, the Bulldog, even though he was in the game already. Pillman was in the game. Miss Elizabeth. Give me Macho and Miss Elizabeth entrance. If you're gonna put Macho in the game, give me Miss Elizabeth. Also, you keep talking about WCW. I don't care about 1993 WCW. I want the Monday Night Wars Nitro. I want those WCW guys. I want Macho as the Madness. I want DDP with short hair. I want Sid Vicious as a psycho. I want Rick Steiner in the game with his jacket.
I would
I
say
want.
they're in there, but I don't like how they gave us like you said, like early '90s
That's what I'm
Steiner.
saying. That
Yeah,
and
no,
like
I
I
want.
want I want Ric Flair, WCW Ric Flair.
I don't know if we'll get Flair return because we've lost out on him like the last 2 years, right?
No. We had him. This last year was 1986 Flair.
We had Flair this year.
White pants, white knee pads, white boots, white robe. Nothing fancy.
I'm a boot up this game. I don't think we had Flair this year.
We had We had white haired Flair.
All right. Well, we're over time. We're gonna boot up this game. We're gonna see real quick about some of these things.
I always
So
kill Dom with his time. One more thing before we leave. My one last prediction pack. The what if pack.
yeah, because honestly, 2K20 did do well on was like some what if stuff. Which I feel like that's probably more like Persona.
But what I'm saying
stuff they would do.
is like
So,
John Cena NWO.
that was already in the game.
But I want the pack. Like I want John Cena NWO, Homelander Cody.
Those are Persona cards. You just mentioned Persona cards. That's all they are.
Stop making it Persona cards. Make them
They're not gonna make it a
DLC.
DLC. No one's gonna pay fucking money for that.
They're gonna pay for money for it through the Persona card.
Not this guy. I'll go give some other dude to jailbreak the game. I'll
That's
give
fair.
him $20 to jailbreak the game with the cheat engine or whatever it's called.
All right, before we go, Dominic, you have a trip coming up, and let's tell the people the plan with your trip. When are you going to California?
Sunday. But this podcast comes out the day I leave, and then
How
I'll be
long?
back a week after.
All right, so we may have one episode where Dominic's not here. I'll fill in somebody else will be here to fill in Dominic's role, but we're not gonna shy away from it. You said you leave
make an angry tweet just
Sunday
like
or
Corey
Monday.
Graves.
Sunday or Monday.
I leave Sunday. I come back Saturday. So.
All right, so we'll have I'll have somebody fill in for the Raw Netflix post show. We're sorry we didn't do one this week. It didn't need it. Nothing really crazy happened on Raw. So
Penta.
We'll talk about it. We'll get there. But all right, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we're way over time. Dominic hates me tonight. Thank you.
Till next time.
Good night, gamers.